Yeah, post a link.
Bust a move. Post a link.
Yeah. It's time to play the game.
It's time to do the stream. I guess.
Hi, what's up? Welcome back to the People Orange Show. I'm Blue Jack, that's Taylor. I've been sitting here waiting for Taylor to realize that this is a brand new TV.
It's a different TV?
It's a brand new TV.
Ah, it's very similar to the TV you had before, but its brightness setting is much higher. That's what I noticed.
Yeah, I was like that when I turned it on.
What was it like when it was off? Real black. Didn't have any, thanks.
Yeah. What are you
right.
looking for?
Do I
Fruit
got enough
snacks?
water?
You looking for your drink? Your water's right over there.
I got this
Taylor's got a monster
thing.
cup.
Not a cup of Monster, a Monster cup. It's got little...
It's like got a big old monster eyeball and fangs, a fangy smile.
It's cute.
Smiley things.
So, when we
the handle is like a tail. It's all striped and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't notice
When we
that.
last left off on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, this is, what episode we on?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
You put the title in! It's right under
27.
27. When we last left off, we were asking the big question of why did the, what was this? I was thinking, I was like, Army Hammer? No, that's the real actor with the silly name.
Army Hammer?
Yeah, his name is Army Hammer.
That's like an actual actor
That's an
name?
actual actor's name. I think he played the Lone Ranger in the Lone Ranger movie, the new one. The one with Johnny Depp as pretending to be a Native American for the 2 hours.
Yeah, that was... Is that racist?
Well, considering how hard it is to...
Up like a white dude as a Native American dude?
I mean, on multiple levels. On one, it's just kind of... It's awkward and weird. But on another, it's also like... It's apparently extremely hard to get a job in Hollywood as a Native American, and it's really frustrating when it's like, oh, here's a movie that takes place in the Old West, and we're going to have Native Americans. Cool. Who's going to play your lead Native American? Johnny Depp. Like, you couldn't find, like, just one Native American actor?
Maybe there aren't any Native American actors.
There are definitely Native American actors.
Then how come we've never heard of any of them?
Hollywood movies.
No, more Native American actors would be cool.
Yeah, it's the same reason why, like, there's so few women allowed to be over, like, 30.
Speaking of, like, skin colors and acting,
yeah.
I just wanted to point out something funny. Like so Brie Larson, you know, that whole dumb controversy thing that happened, whatever, I don't care about it.
In quotations, controversy.
Controversy. Well, yeah, it was, I mean... It was dumb. The whole thing was dumb.
Leans into microphone.
But
hey, y'all, women exist. Crowd. Hey.
No, I think that's not. Well, I mean, yes, okay. So I can also see why people would be annoyed with what you said, but I also think it's dumb. Because
I think it was blown far out of proportion.
Yeah, blown out of proportion. It was dumb, and that's not what I'm trying to draw attention to. What I'm trying to draw attention to is the fact that Monica Rambeau is a black woman who was Captain Marvel way before Carol Danvers.
I did not know that.
I think that it's hilarious that they took the black woman who was Captain Marvel way before Danvers and instead set her up to be her kid protege. And the reason I find that funny is because it like...
Wait, then who was the older... Then who was her mom?
That was Monica Rambeau's mom.
Just Monica Rambeau Sr.?
I don't fucking know what her name is.
I figured that... Oh, I just figured
that
she
I just think it's funny that she's up there like, I want more black women in movies, and then it's like, except mine, I'm the lead role in mine. I don't care if the black woman did it first.
I feel like at that point, that was already in the script.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was Brie Larson's fault. I'm not saying it was Brie Larson's fault. I don't think it was. Dude, that was like
what if actors,
a whole bunch of... I just think it's hilarious. What?
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
like,
dude,
no,
what if actors had that kind of power? That would be amazing. If it was like Oscar Isaac was like, "Hey, Finpo is canon now," and Disney's like, "No," and he's like, "Yes, I am now running the show." Done.
Okay, see, I have conflicting feelings about that. Like, okay, yes, I'd be cool with it, but I'd also be not cool with it, simply because of the fact that it's was never supposed to be a thing, and people just want it to be, and people are getting like hostile and violent about it. And I think it's dumb.
I just like that moment where it'd be like, anything is possible.
Yeah, but at this point, it's just, it speaks badly about a fandom when they start demanding something to be a thing simply because they want it to be a thing when it was never in the writer's vision.
Look, normally I'd be like, hey, you can't just like switch things. You can't just you don't want the fandom to be toxic in its demands or what have you. The thing is, like, what people want is like a really great opportunity for a more like diverse representation in a major movie, and the fact that like a couple of the actors were actually like, hey, that's actually a cool idea, but like we all want it. Like, you know, and it wouldn't like, we wouldn't lose anything, and we'd gain like basically a whole like...
Yeah, but it's not the writer's vision. Not to say that this new Star Wars movie have been good by any stretch. I honestly do not like the new ones, but I'm in it for the long haul now because that's just my life now.
I mean, I gotta say, I would have liked it more if Rian Johnson was in charge of it, because I feel like we had it was like two people arguing, like pulling on a lever and moving the train tracks, because J.J. Abrams was like, hey, let me set up a big mystery box. I love mystery boxes. And then Rian Johnson was like, no, stop it with the bloodlines. We're going to go back. We're going to have it that the Force is connected to all things. Okay. We're going to have it that Rey's parents were junk scrap people. All right. And then J.J. gets back in the mix and he's like, pulls the lever the other way and he's like, no, she's blood related to the main characters. We're going to twist it again. And I was like, really?
Yeah, I don't like that they did that. I haven't seen the new movie, by the way.
What I'm saying is that on a tier list, I gotta say I'd probably put Rian Johnson like above J.J. Abrams and on technically below Taika Waititi, but that's because I would trust Taika Waititi with like my children.
Right.
Dude, you know what's amazing?
Dude.
Have you seen The Mandalorian?
No, but dude.
Well then, what are we talking about
here? All that being said, Disney does need to like get its shit together and give us like more LGBT romances, because there are so many of those kids. There's so many like LGBT romances like within Marvel alone. Like, yay, y'all ever heard of a character called Hunkling and another character called Wiccan? Like, let's see those guys.
I'm gonna be honest. I only know myths and legends, but I've heard.
I have not actually read any comic books with them in it. It's a thing that
But you know they exist.
I know they exist because I watch a lot of like comic story.
And I just.
I'm really more DC these days, simply because that's just what I started out reading. But like, see, I'm not like pro DC and anti Marvel. My situation is simply that of someone who wants to get into more comic books and has started with DC, and there's just so much DC to read. Eventually, I'll read my share of DC stuff and start reading Marvel stuff.
I understand. You're pan-franchisal.
I don't know why I decided to start with DC. It spoke to me more. It spoke to me more. It has Batman. It has Batman. So
y'all understand? Like, it's not an exclusive thing. I'm poly-franchisal.
Exactly. For Marvel, it's all about Spider-Man with me. Spider-Man is my guy. Peter Parker mostly, but like I also like Miles Morales.
It's kind of wild how like I was putting this out there that sometimes the definitive edition of something isn't like a classic or a modern thing. It's something that was like just a few years back, where like you just happen to have like the right writer and the right artist at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's just how comics are sometimes. Like, I really like the like I was talking to some folks online about New 52, and they're like, "Oh, New 52 was a bit of a mess," and I was like, I mean, I guess. I didn't read all 52 titles in it, so it's hard for me to judge if it was on average good or bad.
Here was what I read.
But I read all the good ones, so I may be a bit biased.
See, I read all the bad ones.
Oh no!
I read like one good one.
Did you start with like
good one?
Did you start at the bottom and now you're here?
Yeah.
Because you must have started with like Green Arrow, which
I actually
Look,
did not.
shout out to the Green Arrow fans. I'm just gonna give you an apology because I remember looking up like from top to bottom what was everyone's like favorite New 52 title versus which one was most
And
like
Green
mishandled.
Arrow was like at the bottom.
And Green Arrow was always
Dude,
at the
Green
bottom. And I
Arrow's
was
the
like,
shit.
let him do something cool, please.
I love Green Arrow.
Let him arrow the verse.
But no,
Please.
I've said this before, but basically the comic books that I read before I decided that I wasn't reading any more New 52 garbage was
You gotta draw a line in the sand.
yeah,
You gotta ask yourself, what am I willing to put up with today?
yeah, that line for me was Starfire.
just Starfire burning the carpentry.
Oh.
Not friggin' this.
Hang on a minute, be right back. Entertain the audience.
Right. So, I recently wrapped up The Mandalorian. Not gonna spoil anything on this. I mean, this episode is coming out just, I don't know, like a handful of days after it came out. But I mean, however, I'm gonna say I did notice. It's funny because the last episode of the whatchamacallit, I was like, wow, this episode is like even betterer than I'm used to. Like I'm used to the episodes being good, but this is
Hey,
like,
what's up? I'm back.
this episode's even gooder. And then I learned that the finale was directed by Taika Waititi.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, how is this guy not getting more work? He just, everything he touches turns to gold.
Okay, I gotta talk about New 52 real quick.
Yeah,
so,
tell us about New 52
Starfire
real
was
quick.
horrible. Red Hood and Arsenal was pretty great.
I swear we covered this in like the first or second
We
episode.
have, but I
Yeah,
always
let's
love
wrap it
talking
up
about
together.
it. So basically, here are the 4 comic books that I read.
I think you struggled too much with titles that like straight up weren't gonna work for you, and then you were like, okay, well, I'm gonna set this down. And it's like, bro, if you wanna, what's the word? I learned quite early on, like when I saw the list of like 52 titles, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna read all of this by the time that it's not like over and they have another like another run
Well,
of
if you
the comics.
focus really hard and you put your mind to it.
Possibly, but if you want to actually like get enjoyment out of it, you go with the ones that people recommend as like, oh, this one had really, really good art.
Well,
This
no,
one had
I've
a really,
really just
good
gotten
story.
to a point where I don't care about New 52 anymore. I don't care if there are good ones in there. I'm not going to read them. I've moved past it. I'm in Rebirth. That's where I'm staying.
But my boy,
I don't want to read Wonder Woman. I don't want to read Harley Quinn.
Okay, but you're not even gonna read Harley New 52.
I'm not even going to read Harley New 52.
that's
I will read
like her
Harley Quinn
origin.
Rebirth. I will read Rebirth stuff and onward. I am done with New
all
52.
Of the, yeah, but all of
I
like the new
don't
canon
want
of Harley
to.
was established in New 52.
I don't want to.
Let me
I
put it
have
to you
Comic
this way.
Historian for that.
There is no. Oh,
Look,
okay.
man, I got Comic Historian for that. All right, shout out to Comic Historian.
By the way,
he got me through the New
reminds me,
52.
I reread the first issue of that comic like 3 times because I thought I had missed the point where they explain why she has a taxidermized robot like beaver that talks to her, but it's not really talking to her. They don't set that up. In fact, I don't know if any comic explains where. I think his name is Bernie. I don't think they actually explain where he comes from. Like.
Can
Do
we
you
get
know
back
about
to the thing
this
that I
comic
was
historian
saying?
explained
Can-
that?
Can we get back to
Was
the
that
thing
like in
I
a
was saying?
an
No, I
earlier
never
comic?
saw. Can I get back to saying what I was trying to say before you interrupted me?
Oh yeah, sorry.
I love you, but you take over the conversation sometimes, and it's hard to talk sometimes. No, but the titles that I read were Teen Titans Volume 1 and 2, which I'm counting as 2 books because I didn't know that the second volume existed because it wasn't on the one that I... So the way this site works is like you click on the title.
You're talking about the 2 separate runs of New 52.
Teen Titans.
Yeah, that was...
I
that
liked
was
Bunker. He was probably my favorite character simply because between all the characters, he was the one that came up and was like, hey guys, maybe not be stupid, until the second run, and then he was kind of douchey sometimes, but like not too much. It was weird. New 52 was weird, but anyway.
Because they explain it later that it was Booker from the Beta universe that came through a portal, or sorry, the Alpha universe. they got to name the universe.
Right, right. No, I remember thinking that Bunker was a little douchey in the second run, but I don't remember why.
I thought you said Booker, so I said Booker.
Bunker.
I was like,
it's Bunker. He does resurface in the Red Hood and the Outlaws comic in Rebirth, which was pretty neat. But, so yeah, it was Teen Titans 1 and 2, the two different runs. I read Starfire, I read...
Wait, hold on. Are we in the... Can they hear both of us?
Yeah, I think so.
Turn on your volume thing, make sure.
Dude, there's no volume thing on the laptop. We've been over this.
Oh, well, let me check it on my phone, because if they can't hear me, they have...
Did we didn't do the party thing.
I'm gonna go check.
It just... Hang on, can they hear you?
I'm gonna go check.
It just occurs to me that people might think that I've been talking to myself this whole time. Yeah. It's time to play the game.
It's time to...
Oh,
okay.
We usually... I've been inviting you into a party thing
We've
this
been
whole
doing the
time,
group chat thing,
and
but
we
apparently we
haven't
can just talk
been
into the
needing to do
controllers.
that. We just talking to the... Well, now I feel stupid.
Now I feel silly.
Anyway, so it was Teen Titans 1 and 2, Starfire, Red Hood and the Outlaws, and Red Hood and Arsenal. Red Hood and Arsenal was my favorite, and I also really liked Red Hood and the Outlaws. Red Hood and the Outlaws got a really bad rep, but it was all centered around the fact that Starfire at the beginning of it was just
I'm trying to come up
overly
with the proper
sexualized.
metaphor. It was mishandled like a greased snake at a convention.
Yeah, but like it got better though. Guys, it got better. Starfire and Arsenal, I actually kind of like as a couple because they become a couple, and for me it works.
It was like trying to. It was mishandled as a bar of soap and a rubber gloved hand.
New 52 was really horny with Starfire.
I've heard legends. I saw that episode of Atop the Fourth Wall where they covered that specific issue.
Yeah.
It was just bizarre.
It was bizarre. But it got better. If
got
any
better.
If any of y'all have been like refusing to touch New 52 Red Hood in the Outlaws because of the Starfire thing, it gets better. It's tough to get through, but if you can get through that, you'll get some pretty okay quality storytelling.
I always jump in where you're like, if you're gonna read New 52, and I just hop in and I'm like, if you're gonna read New 52, Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, obviously, those were great.
Starfire was where I drew the line.
And here's the thing, though, I know that there was some good
horrible.
Batman in there, but because there was like 3.5 Batman titles, I can never remember which one was the good one were good and which one.
Wait a minute,
was less
why
good.
does this thing? I've had the PS button.
Yeah.
Pressed this whole time, so people have just been seeing this the whole time.
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm sorry, audience. I would like to apologize to the audience.
Listeners?
I would like to apologize to my laptop. I would like to apologize to Mr. Nick over here, pointing his large
Wright.
dick finger at me.
Nicholas P. Wright.
Nicholas P. Wright. Should we get started?
I think we should get started. Let's get it started in Let's get it started in here.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. Oh, real quick, I want to talk about Days Gone.
Oh,
Not
no.
like...
We did that last episode.
No, but like, there is something I gotta say about it, because like, I thought it was gonna end, and then it was like, hey, you're in the army now, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I told you it's a big chunky game.
You were
and
gonna
when I say a
end
big
here.
chunky game, I don't mean like, oh, there's a lot of side quests, which there are, but I mean like it's a 4-act game where you're like, I resolved this one key issue. Oh yeah, there was that thing going on,
Oh,
and then there's a whole overarching plot
Back to the
outside
Sarah
of
thing.
that.
See, I thought that the game was gonna conclude with Deacon accepting Sarah's death and moving on, and then finally writing Norse. But no, they were like, oh hey, guess what? Your wife is alive. But then you meet her, and it's like, oh, this isn't how I pictured things. Now she's an army medic, and now she doesn't want to ride with me no more. She wants to fight the war, and I don't trust the people that she's fighting with. They seem bad. Why does the captain guy have her ring? I have bad feelings everywhere.
Yeah, and it's wild because it's like the entire time you're asking yourself, it's not just about zombies. It's actually about like what sort of personal sacrifices you make to maintain sort of a group dynamic. I mean, do you, like, as I said, like, oh, Tucker's camp is like the worst. It's just like a slave camp that she's running, and like at least like a fifth of the people just have to be stationed as guards to keep the other people from just taking a nap once in a while. And then you ask yourself, well, like going on the example of like taking out the Rippers, like you'd have to find the balance point where it's like where can you take out and this isn't part of the main game, but I wish it was can you take out Tucker in a way that isn't like an all-out war with the rest of the guards in the camp? Because if it becomes an all-out war, you haven't gained anything, because like all the people that you're trying to save get hurt.
Yeah.
And that's what that was like Iron Mike's whole point. Like that's how he even managed to have a loose alliance, or more of a was it non-aggression pact with the Rippers. Was you stay over there, we'll stay over here, and what it matters more to me that you're a bunch of living humans than that we try to kill you and just have to deal with zombies. Like,
and then Deacon and Boozer come in, like, let's blow it all up.
Blow it all up.
Blow it up. Just gets to like Crazy Stan and Batman Beyond. Blow it all up.
But what was it? He had a really good quote. It was like, look, it's you. It's he was like, look, Deacon was like, look, it's us versus them, and he's like, it's always us versus them.
Yeah.
Problem is, you keep seeing us. The problem is, you don't realize
that us means
everyone here who isn't walking around as a zombie with poop in their pants.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, which is why, by the way, the zombies are so stinky.
I love Iron Mike. He tries so hard. He tries so hard to be a good person.
Yeah, that's the thing is
good.
that Iron Mike is, what's the word? Like,
he's like the moral compass of the game.
He's not wrong and he's not right, because like you can't. Because on one hand, like, he's right. Maintaining diplomatic relations with the Rippers was, in the grand scheme, really important, because it's better to have a bunch of other humans, even if like you've got a bunch of like crazy humans, as long as like they're not doing bandit raids on you. Though apparently they break the rules every once in a while.
Right.
But and on the other hand, you've got the classic like just RPG like logic of, oh, there's bandit camps. We'll just fight all the bandits. You get rid of all the bandits, and you'll be fine.
Oh, hey, Hottie.
Have you ever run into any random survivors, and you get to send them back to one of the three camps?
Yeah, several times.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I never sent him to Tucker's camp, because I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not terrible like that.
The only time I would ever send him to either Copeland's camp or Tucker's camp is if I like need credits there to fuel up and repair my bike.
I need this much fuel.
But like, I didn't even do that. I stopped doing that for Copeland because I realized, hey, wait, I have gas on O'Leary Mountain, like just a few feet away from Copeland's camp.
Turns out there's this gas reservoir right outside of camp. I just don't need credits
at Copeland's camp because I hate Copeland's camp.
But there's actually, this is super rare, but in Ripper territory, there's actually a place where you can find like 4 survivors. Well, it's a random encounter, but you'll actually find like 4 or so survivors who are being held captive by like some Rippers, and that's like one of the biggest like bounty things that you can bring in, is you just all send them to whatever your favorite camp is.
Yeah.
And it's really neat, because I was like, I didn't even know that happened. It's always been like 1, sometimes it's been 2, but then like one of them gets like bopped in the head by one of the guys I'm fighting. Huh. So like I've never saved like 4 at the same time.
Huh.
It's a really interesting encounter.
That is neat. Hey, look, it's that hot French girl.
Now, what would be amazing is if you just like open up the RPG a little wider, and you have like a charisma skill, and you just become really charismatic and start bringing people back to camps that are in other camps, or like bandits. You're just like, y'all, you won't believe, we got a place that has like, we got food, we got water, and all you got to do is not shoot anyone.
Yeah, but like, you also gotta work.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
you gotta find a balance.
See, there's a balance, because
but like,
with Tucker's camp, it's like you must work constantly, and Copeland's just a fanatic who's like, God stuff.
Yeah, and he also demands like a specific like hierarchy, which is like, it really doesn't feel like necessary considering. I mean, every time that like Tucker or Copeland's camp is like, "Oh, you have to do things this way so we can survive," you just look at Iron Mike's camp and you're like, "But you don't, though."
Well, okay, but here's the thing. I think maybe you do in a certain way because
Hmm.
look at it this way. Tucker can take in like anyone whenever and she makes them work. But like there's a point with Iron Mike where they were literally like, "No, you can't bring us survivors if they can't work."
Yeah.
And so on that note, it's like, okay, yeah, Iron Mike's camp is doing fine, but he also won't take in survivors that
Yeah.
aren't
The
able-bodied.
the real thing is that
So it's like, I mean, I feel like there's no really right way in this situation.
yeah, I ideally you would want the like the military remnants or what have you to just be teaching your military and not have like try to make your entire base a military because if your whole
Like
base
Diamond Lake.
if everyone like sure it's useful to train everyone how to like use guns and weapons and stuff because that's just a really good like camp idea to like so people live better
Yeah.
and can fight zombies. But like the thing is, if you have that as the standard for everyone, like you don't have you don't know what to do with folks who wash out or even get old. I mean, like the was it Copeland guy himself, like if he just like got too old, like he technically wouldn't be able to do all the tests that he'd have to do to be in the military, except because he's a command position, he just wouldn't allow himself to wash out.
Right.
Like you gotta if you set up a situation where like the Iron Mikes of your society don't get to like belong, then you lose the Iron Mikes of your society.
Right.
You gotta have your Iron Mikes.
I like Iron Mike. He's the best. October 1 9, Studio 2 entrance. It's the hot French lady.
The
I
Studio
think she's
2
French. I keep
entrance.
calling her French, but I don't.
It's because she's got the I forget
The
the
pipe
French word
thingy?
for it, but yeah, it's the pipe thingy. It's sort of
So,
a French
who would you rather date, this girl or Mia?
thing. I would say Mia,
Yeah,
but
me
mainly
too.
because I bet Mia doesn't smell like an ashtray.
I bet she's also a lot better at conversations. This lady's just kind of like, do stuff for me and be gone.
I don't want to have to do stuff for you. I mean, not as such a transactional situation. I want a friend,
Right.
and Mia is a friend.
Just give me a friend. Why can't we be friends?
Hey,
Why can't
Nick,
we
it's Miss
be
Vasquez.
friends? Hey, fuck Vasquez.
Yeah, I noticed her on the way in.
Yeah, I noticed her.
She's coming right in front
yeah,
of us.
I walked in and it smelled like ash, and I was like, "Oh, Vasquez must be here."
It's just the rebel Tie Fighter guy, the rebel X-wing guy, and he's like, "There's the blockade," and it just looks out the window, and there's this massive blockade around the planet. It's like, "Oh, thanks for letting me know."
Oh, really? Now?
You know, originally I thought that line was really dumb, and then I realized that he's talking over the radio with the rest of the squad. That's like the rest of their fleet is like behind them. Not everyone actually sees the blockade. Like there's people in like maintenance and in the bathroom and in the tunnels and stuff in the ship. They don't know if the blockade's there.
That's a good point.
Hello, hello.
Was I voicing her or was you?
I think you were
Okay.
simply because I didn't wanna. I was like, no, I can't play this character while you're Phoenix. Hello.
No, you gotta spell it. That's the
Helllo.
exclamation point.
Hell.
Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds.
Stargazing.
Stop gazing. Cloud gazing. That's all she had to say, apparently.
Looks up. It's just a clear day. There's no
hi.
clouds. I
Mr.
thought that said
Hammer.
Dr. Manila. Excuse me. Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder, and he's dead now.
Shh.
Boy!
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds.
Oh, be quiet. You're gonna scare the clouds away.
I'm not interested in talking to you.
Ah! Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off.
Oh dear.
She's really... I was gonna say standoffish, but I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right word. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I mean, you need
I
to.
think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai.
I'm just saying that because an actor died, but you don't want to have feelings about it. Like, wouldn't you if you were running a show and like it's got like basically two and a half actors in it, and one of them dies? Like, I don't know what you do.
Find a new actor? I mean, fuck
I
dude,
guess
I don't
so.
know.
Yeah. You did it, Nick. She did it. She's the killer. My Fey blood speaks to me. I know it. I know it.
Oh dear. Dude, I feel like that's like an Alfred response.
I mean,
Like if Alfred was here in this situation, he'd just be saying "oh dear" like after every sentence was spoken.
I'm starting to see. I mean, considering that she's been completely apathetic to like everything, I just I don't know if I feel like maybe like not completely on purpose, but not completely on accident either. She'd be like, yeah, I don't care about the safeties I set for my actors. Oh, hey, he died. Oh, well, guess I gotta cancel the show. Collect the insurance money.
Yeah, for the insurance claims.
It's always about the insurance money.
Goddamn insurance companies. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manella? If you must talk...
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I forgot that. Sorry.
If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer?
I'll stay out here.
By yourselves?
I'll stay out here where I can't hear you talking about it.
Oh dear. Okay.
Wow.
Well,
riveting dialogue.
Cool. I'm gonna go to the trailer now.
9 out of 10 IGN.
Ah, Jesus Christ. October 19 Stadio 12.
I don't think you have to do this every time.
Yeah. It's like a roll.
Wasn't the assistant cleaning up yesterday? Funny. Still seems pretty messy in here.
I guess she was still on a high from getting that rare card she needed.
Just cuts to Benny. Woo! And then it's like her in the exact same position, but she's like in the parking lot. Woo! Her in the car. Woo! Shower. Woo! Her sitting in bed at the night. Woo!
Okay, I guess nothing's been accomplished here. Let's friggin' go into the main gate, I guess. Oh, hey, it's Obed. Wait, didn't we talk to her already?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
You see the checkbox? You already talked to me.
Did we go to,
Get out of here. You can't have any of my donuts.
You can't have my donuts.
I have donuts so I can look at them. Appraise them, but not eat them.
Glory be to the donut holes.
I only eat donut holes, but there's no donut holes here, and that's how I'm so thin. I guess they're not filming today either. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to see them filming just one time.
This trial will be over. Excuse me, Maya. I didn't get enough sleep last night. You can. My body was in need of that extra bit of oxygen. You can come see that. You can come see them film later.
I guess. Oh, I was drinking some water. I guess.
Maya like picks up a drink of water.
So where you find that bottle of sleeping pills, right?
Uh-huh.
Wonder if there are any other clues lying around.
What?
Yeah! No touching.
Oh, Jesus, hi, Gumshoe, you look like Hammer Chet.
Eek! Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten ya.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna go into a Pokemon fight there for a minute.
Didn't mean. I almost had a heart attack. I guess I can be a little dramatique at times. I suppose it's the actor in me.
Actor.
Dramatique indeed.
That was my line.
Yeah. I'm the voice of your brain. Ahem. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table.
Why does my brain sound like Tom Bergeron?
Why does my brain sound like Yuri Lowenthal?
No, I was just thinking of like How I Met Your Mother and how like he sounds like Tom Bergeron when he's telling the story. He's like, "Now, kids, this is how I met your mother." Wait, was it Tom Bergeron or was it someone else?
Mm.
I don't remember. It was definitely a different voice.
Why does my brain sound like Alan Tudyk?
What is that from?
No, I was just rolling with the same
Oh,
joke.
oh. Why does my brain sound like Shaquille O'Neal?
Man up, do the gold bond tingle.
Don't make me laugh when I'm drinking water.
I stay supple. Supple, 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 supple.
Stop
Gold
saying
bond,
supple.
do the gold bond. Man up, do the
Shaquille,
gold bond.
Shaquille, please stop.
Nobody touches the Shactus.
Mr. O'Neal, I'm getting a restraining order against you. Wait, are you... Shout out to Shaquille O'Neal.
I guess.
I guess. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills?
Yeah, pal. Traces thereof.
We have sleeping pills. The plate.
So you're looking for the sleeping pills. The traces of the sleeping pills. How? I just kind of go around licking the plates until I get tired. For a thorough examination, I'm gotta take a plate back to the precinct. I hit it with one of those laser thingies. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. A science guy gave me some testing solution. It's William something. William Nye, I think.
Bill Nye.
Thank you.
Guy. Bill.
This reacts to the sleeping pills, see? I keep changing this guy's voice to a different kind of old-timey accent.
Do like...
If there are traces, it'll change color.
You should do like an old-timey, sort of like rough and tough New Yorker type accent.
Yeah. I keep slipping...
What do you think a doormat is for?
I did line.
You
Said
what?
if there are traces, it'll change color.
Alright.
Wow, neat. I got like all the lines in the scene. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for?
An invitation.
Oh no, everything in due time, pal.
I was waiting for an invitation.
What? Who turned off the sun?
I don't know, Gumshoe.
Well, testing on the solution on the plate. Change color, all right.
Did we need a black screen for that?
It's because they would have had to draw a whole different sprite for him doing that. But you're right. They could have just made him disappear for a moment and brought him back.
That is really dumb.
Food on this plate. Oh, sorry, that's your line. I read your mind.
Your ventriloquist skills are off
Stop
the
right there.
charts.
I know what you're thinking. The food on this plate was laced with sleeping pills. Am I right? Is this your card?
Oh my god, you got it. That's exactly right.
Looks like it.
Yeah, looks like you could just read minds now.
Let's just put this in the court record. The court record is just like a big satchel you carry. It's just got all this junk in it.
It's like it's actually just Doom Guy's backpack, which can contain like infinite stuff, which is a thing that I learned.
Well, look, we just have it that the
Look,
transporter
there was this whole like
scans and then loads all of them onto a basically a data cache, and then can reference that at any time, teleporting the item into your hands.
My theory is that this whole game takes place after the Doom games, where, like, you know, the demons are battled and, like, the world is saved and all. And so now it's like a sort of post-apocalyptic type thing where they've rebuilt, and they just happened upon Doom Guy's backpack after he, like, had long retired. Someone found it, and now Phoenix just uses it to put all this crap in.
Guess that could work.
Everything comes back to
I
Doom
thought that
Guy.
said Professor Edgeworth. No, you fool. Everything comes back to
Vampire Bloodlines,
Bloodline.
which is where Doom takes place, you see.
You see, it's just got a big like chart that connects it all.
And then there's like the zombies from like Days Gone and Last of Us. So that was just the
and then there's just this big
preemptive
circle
strike
around
from
the
hell.
name Pepe Sylvia.
Those just like...
I saw someone who actually figured out what that was supposed to mean.
What?
Pepe Sylvia in not 30 Rock. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Have you seen that skit?
No, I don't watch Sony in Philadelphia.
I've seen that specific skit where they walk in and one of the guys is like, "So I keep getting mail from Pepe Sylvia, so I check it out. He's not in this apartment. In fact, he doesn't even work here. Pepe Sylvia is a ghost. He does not exist." But someone actually figured out the theory behind why he had this theory, and it's that he just has dyslexia, so he keeps reading the address of Pennsylvania as Pepe Sylvia.
Oh my god, that's sad!
I mean, that plus, like, what I assume is a lack of sleep just threw him off. That would explain why he was like, yeah, Barney gave me the tip. Who's Barney? And then he turns around, the guy in the trench coat behind him is gone. He's like, I thought he was right here.
That's so weird. How goes your investigation?
To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers. Some people say we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it. I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. They're kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. Pretty sure he gets paid.
Yeah, probably. How is Edgeworth doing, anyway?
Like, that's my question, is like, okay, so as like a defense attorney, or at least like in fictional defense attorneys always have to like maintain some kind of like record where it's like, ah, yes, I've very seldom lost a case or something. But like, what about like prosecuting attorneys? Do you have to, like, especially if you're chosen by the state, like you don't have to be like, ah, I've never lost a case in prosecuting. It's just like, yeah, I'm here. Like, I don't know if there's like a competition there.
Oh, hey, we have a comment from
Nice.
Jack 10-0-1176. Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on no, thank you. Wow.
I was just seeing you as you were like, and your brain was slowly realizing that it was like a spam ad.
Why is there a spam ad in our chat? How did spams get into
Joke's
our
on
chat?
them. They just watched our video. We shall do nothing.
Hey, get out of here
Get
with
outta
your spamming.
here.
We don't want you. We're gonna upload this to YouTube
Ma,
and become
there's this
super
weird
famous.
commenter in the chat. Ma, come here. I don't want them scaring off the fans. There's a real weird comment in the chat. Really weird. Okay. You ever seen that video, the weird cat?
Yeah, I have seen that.
What
There's a weird cat
My
in
favorite
here.
thing is that I learned from some kind of like bit of like backstory that like that weird cat isn't like, I mean, as much as I would like for it to be like some kind of cryptid that just like shows up, it actually is the neighbor's cat. They just have a weird looking cat. So I'm like, oh, okay. So the cat is okay. It's just the neighbor's cat, and when it shows up, it's just, you're like, why is it grimacing at me? And it's like, well, it's just how it looks. It's got big teeth.
Read your line.
Mr. Edgeworth is out of control.
Oh,
Whoa.
dude,
I
like,
tripped over.
don't trip. Careful, there's a thing there.
He was in the waiting room when he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. You want a fruit snack?
Whoa, yes, please.
Yeet.
Fruit snack me. Oh, thank you. Whoa.
Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury there.
Will you stop tripping over the fucking
Maybe if it wasn't
psychopath?
at shoe height. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth.
The fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups.
He's got to
Cups,
take the edge off. That'll
bottle-
just be worth.
Cups, bottles.
It's all connected.
Say whatever happened. Say whatever happened with that empty bottle.
Oh, a bottle of sleeping pills.
Yeah, that bottle.
Well, I got some news for you. Good. I got some. I had some Swedish Valhalla before I went here.
It's affecting my
It's really
speech pattern.
slowing me down. Oh, I still got it in my teeth. So, I got some good news for you about that.
I'm imagining like Gumshoe already has like a subtle speech impediment, and it just becomes noticeable when he eats Swedish falafel. It's just like, hey, the thing is,
I
look,
apologize.
pal.
Minor nerve damage. I got a lot of fights with some bread boxes in the 1920s, I guess.
Oh, what a bully day this is to be alive.
Back when bully and capital had very different meanings. They found the victim, Jackhammer's prints, on the bottle. So that means... Yep. Sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So maybe he was trying to get him to sleep, so then so he would get the opportunity to put the suit on and go, I guess, try out for the part of the Steel Samurai?
I guess?
I mean, on top of that, he could be like, well, he's sleeping in and he doesn't take this job. Seriously, I don't know. But, like, it's simple enough, though. I mean, it's starting to come together.
Yeah, a little bit.
Also, it makes a lot of sense that it makes a lot of sense that Jack was the only other guy to wear the suit, because at first I thought that the picture was taking a lot of artistic liberties, but nah, Jack is the only other guy who's really that beefy on the set. Like, it's... Because, like, you can't see his face because he's actually got, like, a whole thing on, but still, he's the only other big guy there.
Right. I don't know what... Oh, hi! Oh, hey, Penny.
Oh!
How you doing?
Hello.
Wait, how old is Penny, do you think?
23. I don't know.
Something like that.
What are you doing here?
Oh, you know, just dusting.
Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess Whoop won't be using it anymore, so...
Oh, poor Whoop.
What? Why? But Whoop's innocent! Yeah, and I'm really grateful for all of you done. But, this week is the last episode of Steel Samurai. What? No!
Maya, Maya got all, like, weirdly masculine there for a minute. No!
Deflated.
I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. You know,
Hey, you're on my belt.
just a random hammer.
No, it's a hammer, and I call him Mr. Hammer. Yes?
Mr. Hammer, as I like to call him, Jaha. Whoop was accused of murdering Jaha.
Oh, because it's JH.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
And I'll call you, Peh, because I don't know what your last name is.
You don't need to abbreviate it.
Abbreviate everything.
Please.
Abbreviation the game. Abbreviation simulator.
Abbreviation simulator 2019.
2020 now.
Except those simulator games always come out they always come out before the year that they're actually about. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if halfway through the year it's like, hey, Farming Simulator 2021.
Right. On the day of... Oh, shit, I forgot to read it. On the day of the murder, we went to Studio 2. Hi, read it on my laptop because it was still there.
Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume, too. What?
Yo, what, mate?
Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that?
Masculine's not the word I was looking for. Deep. Deep is what I meant to say. Earlier when you were like, no... Anyway.
I can't pronounce ellipses, so thank you.
Just feel like,
But why would someone have so much trouble typing? Or when I was talking to them, they had trouble typing. They didn't use the shift key, and they're typing real slow. And
Wait, what?
I was talking to some friends the other day, and it's like, I was having a conversation with someone, but like, they were like typing really slow, and they didn't get around to they kept like refusing to use the shift key, so it was like lowercase i's and stuff. And they were like, so what if? And I was like, very funny. I don't think that was why though.
Oh, what if they were having sex?
No,
Was
what if
that where that was
the
going?
hand, they were using one hand, obviously.
Oh, using what?
They were
Ah,
driving.
that's
They were trying to talk to me while driving, which is irresponsible.
There actually was an incident with my friend when we were playing League of Legends, but I had to like leave for a minute, and when I came back, she was like gone, and like later when we hung out, she confirmed that like she was having sex. She was like, my boyfriend just like came up and attacked me, and I was like, ah, and I was like, oh.
Oh, I thought you were like in the same place or something.
Oh no, well, League of
Like,
Legends.
as in,
It
like,
was
she
like
just,
she was at her
jumped
place.
in-
I was
just
at
jumped-
no,
hopped into a
she wasn't
car and
hanging
left.
out with.
You're just at your friend's house alone, like, what?
She's like, I gotta go. It's time for sex. No, she was at her place. I was at mine, and then like her boyfriend came here and seduced her while we were playing League of Legends. Well, we had like just gotten done with the game. We were gonna do another, but I had to leave for a minute, and then I came back, and she's like the only one that I play with. So when she didn't respond, I like turned it off and was like, okay, well that's weird. And then like a few days later, she was like, oh yeah, no, I was having sex. It's like, oh, good for you, man.
I guess the rumors must be true then. The rumor? I assume you've heard. It's a very common rumor of a avian variety.
Knew you were going there. Willa, bird's the wind. It was my understanding that everyone had heard.
Look, I heard it from Cameo. They said, "Word up." There's a reference for you.
I didn't get it.
Deep cut to the '80s.
Word up.
Recently, I was watching Infinity Train, and they actually got the licensing to do a real like song that really existed in the '80s, and it's "Word Up" by Cameo,
Huh.
and it's real catchy.
Never heard it.
We should listen to it. That and I gotta say another one of my favorites was "Highwayman" by Highwaymen.
Excuse me.
'Cause it's like a story, you know.
Right.
Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, some kind of hold on Hammer, some kind of grip, if you say.
sort of iron grip.
Well, she had a rubberized grip on the hammer.
You think that Iron Mike has like an iron grip? Like he's got like one of those crazy grips that's just like
I don't know.
you take a jar of pickles over to him and it's just like wah.
I mean, I'm gonna say that he's gotta have some level of grip, considering the gun that he uses. He's gotta be confident that it's not gonna fall out of his hand, so he needs to have some level of grip to use a gun that big.
Dude, my grandpa had like the most iron grip in existence.
Is he
Like he
a
had
rock
such
climber.
I don't know.
Sailor.
Well, he did a lot of things in his day. He was in the army. He was. He
know
was
what
a miner. He was a bus driver.
You know who no one remembers is, or no one includes when they're like, oh yeah, really strong hands, is massage therapists. If you ever actually met someone who like massages for a living, like your hands get really, really strong. You don't realize that, and like you get a back massage, and like, oh right, and then I'll just pull you up, and then you reach up, and they just like you pull you up with one arm, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot how strong you are. They're really strong. It's because it's a repetitious exercise. You gotta actually put your muscles in there if you're gonna need muscles.
Yeah.
It was this. I definitely make love to bats. He admits it.
Wait, what was that? Was the Lego Batman game, was it? No,
What?
it
No,
wasn't
that
Lego
would never
Batman.
be the Lego Batman game.
No.
The Harley Quinn cartoon.
Harley Quinn. That's what it was. I knew it was from something that I'd seen. I don't know
How'd you
why
make it
I
into the
thought Lego
Batmobile?
Batman.
Oh, well, it's operated by his voice, so I put the voice together, and it's let Harley drive Batmobile. Also, I made this one. I definitely make love to bats.
Yeah, but that's unrealistic simply because Batman would never use the word love. He's not capable of love.
That is the good question. How did she get a clip of... I think that must have been one of those word games where it's like something you love.
Okay, but like
something.
really thinking back on it, can you recall a single moment where Batman, as Batman, ever
Says
said the word love? Like, through all the cartoons you've watched, through all the comics you've read.
the only way you could do that is if there was like one of those elven doors where it's like speak 11, enter, and you'd be like, fuck.
Although there was that one amazing episode where Batman sung in Justice League.
I need to check that out. No, not Justice League. It was in Batman Brave and the Bold, I think.
Was it Bear in the Well?
I believe it was.
I thought it was Justice League.
Which reminds me, dude, I heard this clip of a podcast that was then animated by MK Atwood, and it was like things the Steven Universe characters would never say, and the Pearl voice actor was like, "Yes, I'd like a double with cheese, please." And then, what was it? Was it DD Mango Hall? And then, hold on. I know her Twitter @ for some reason, but I'm drawing a blank on her name for a moment. Michaela Dietz? Yeah. She was like, I think what Amethyst wouldn't say was, I love you. And they're like, what? No! I was like, well, she wouldn't say it, you know? She'd like give a gift or something, but like, she wouldn't say it. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, wow, that'll be like the only clip we have of that voice saying that phrase.
Wow.
Makes me sad. Also, oh man, now I'm on a whole tangent because I remembered that there was like 6 hours of bloopers leaked, and now I'm pretty sure it's deleted now, but there was like a leak of like several hours of bloopers from the My Little Pony voice actors, and they they curse more than you'd think.
Really? I'd expect them to curse a lot. Like, I always expect the most foul-mouthed ones to be the ones that do children cartoons.
I can't get it out of my head where it's just like, hello, this is Fluttershy, and I'm doing this line, and shit. Okay. Oh, it's just,
dude.
That and how I love that the lady who does the granny, what's her name? Granny Smith, the old lady, pony.
I never watched MLP.
Okay,
dude.
imagine a pony that's named Granny Smith. There you go. That's exactly the image. She's green. She looks like a grandma who's also a horse. There you go. Huh. But she uses like old timey curses for some reason.
Grandma elephant lady from Adventure Time?
No, but no, that's a totally different voice. But like, she's like, oh, fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks.
Not literally, but like something like that, where it's just like,
right.
son of a clam puncher.
Son of a clam puncher.
I don't know. There's gotta be a clip of DD Mango Hall out there that's just, oh, you know what they say, you can't make a pearl without getting sand in your clam.
Oh my god.
Doom. Alright, so
Screw your fucking life.
dirt, you know? Bad stuff. Did you get it from the blue corp?
What? Oh, Blue Corp!
It all comes together.
It all comes back to Blue Corp.
I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They're using the new Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too.
The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set, then?
What do you mean, The Last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shot, but nothing can be done to save it. Whoever really did kill Mr. Handler, Mr. Handle,
Mr. Hander.
Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant.
Oh.
Our sequel will be called Steel Samurai Death Warrant. No! No!
No, you gotta be like, no! No!
No!
No, God, please!
No! Just the Crash Bandicoot. If we had an editor, we could put that in. Dude, I want to reach that point where we have fans who animate like cartoon versions, like little basic cartoon versions of our heads talking.
Yeah.
I would like literally just throw money
feel like
at them. I don't have a lot of money, but like I will throw my Christmas and birthday money at that to make that happen. Because
wouldn't they need to like see what we look like to animate and stuff?
they'd be based on the icon things that we had.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they'd be pretty simple. They'd be like some of the animations for
I've got like an icon picture for both of us.
Aaron
Like I only got mine in the Twitch thing, but like I had an artist friend of mine make one for you too, for like in the event that we ever get an actual channel going.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, they'd be like little stick figures, and except with like really big like emotions.
Right.
That'd be cute.
That'd be awesome.
Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. We've got a new crew. They want to do something with puppets and a lot of meat for some reason. It's weird.
Are you talking about Don't Hug Me, I'm
No,
Scared?
you don't. You don't explain the joke.
Well, I was just trying to make sure that I got what you were going for.
If that's what you think, then you keep rolling with it.
Oh.
Yeah, they ordered like a ton of glitter and a bunch of raw fish.
And just one creepy
like
puppet that just stares at you
They have,
sometimes.
Like a life-size like the puppet suit, like the kind that you walk around in. It's really bizarre.
I want to send you on this, but I really don't know what to add to.
They're not going to make kids shows anymore. As I said, it's something with puppets, but it's definitely not for kids.
It's definitely.
Did you know? On an aside, did you know that Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, because of YouTube algorithms, somehow got added to YouTube Kids?
That is deeply disturbing.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I feel like it's exactly what Don't Hug Me, I'm
There's
Scared.
probably a lot of kids out there that are like emotionally scarred now.
Yeah. And the
Can
stupidest
you
thing about
imagine
it is
being
that
like 9 years old and seeing this like
what kind of algorithm like can watch a video and know that it has puppets but doesn't understand that, like, how do you have one that it's advanced enough to be like, yes, this is about puppets, but it doesn't actually like get the things of yes, this also has like gore in it or something. Like,
man.
Also somehow YouTube Kids added like a video that was like straight up just not YouTube safe.
Man,
And I'm like, bro, what algorithm is doing this?
Man, the can eating a live duck is probably the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in a video.
Oh yeah, the
The
can
one with
is
the
alive.
food, the can was alive and it was eating the duck.
Eat anything? It's a can.
I don't know, but it was so well because it was
turns out that
canned
it's
duck.
all actually it turns out it's actually about letting go of the childhood in the past.
Well, no, it's because it was canned duck.
Yes,
The-
but
the
it
duck
turns
needed
out
to
the
get
real
into the
moral
can.
of the story, I don't know.
It was letting go go of your childhood.
Letting go of letting go of the things of the past.
Oh, we got bring an adult. I mean, dude, it
And
can.
just a bunch of weird stuff along the way.
I mean, dude, there was. I'm pretty sure that they at one point were on record saying, "Hey, we've heard a lot of theories, and they're all right." And at that point, I was like, that's fair. I mean,
feel like that's
you
a better
can
response
really
than being
just
like
make
none of them are right. just because, man, because if you said they're all right, the fans are still going to speculate, but they're just going to take what they've got and narrow it down to something even more precise. My associate here is unplugged. What are you doing?
I'm getting up because this freezer door doesn't look closed.
What? Why?
I don't know.
That's my line.
Oh.
I don't know what the last line was. I got on the whole thing about.
Don't hug me, I'm scared. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. Oh, canceling the Steel Samurai.
Yeah. I don't know. It's sad, but it's what Global Studios decided.
Why aren't they going to make kid shows anymore?
The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore.
Well, see, there was this show they did that cut out an entire arc of a pirate show, and then people rioted, so they were like, let's just not do kid shows anymore.
Was it the... Wait, are we talking about the giant islands, or...
You don't explain it, Taylor!
I'm not saying what show it's from.
Yeah, it was the giant island.
That was a single episode, though.
It was the giant island arc.
Like, what I'm saying is that we'll never figure out how that guy got so many of those bull Pokemon.
It was... I'm very unfortunate in the fact that, like, a lot of the things I loved, I first started viewing on 4Kids. So, like,
oh, yeah.
I knew Ace as Trace, and I knew, like, Zoro as Zolo, and I got really confused when I first heard people saying their actual names. And then Giants, and then I learned that they had, when I, like, started it back from earlier in the series, I got to, like, that giant island arc, and I was like, oh, this exists? I don't remember this.
Yeah, and
that's because it wasn't in the 4Kids version.
Your homework for this episode is... before the next episode, I want you to look up if there was a real reason to cut the giant arc, because we saw that, and unlike other like bits and stuff that's been like edited or deleted or whatever, like there wasn't any like gory battles or lewd references.
There was no reason
and it was so short. Maybe they just cut it because they were like they thought it was too fillery or something.
Maybe.
But, like, I'm pretty sure during that arc they get, one of the important, like, calls goes out to one of the Baroque Works members.
I mean, that's really the episode that sets up the existence of giants, because giants show up later throughout the series, and if you don't watch the Giant Island episode, then you don't know they exist, so you get to, like, giants later, who exist for no reason, and you're just like, oh, giants exist.
Did you say giants later?
Giants later. Yeah, giants show up
we had
later.
Giants earlier, but now we're going to get giants later.
Yeah, we're going to get giants later. Because there are so many giants. There's like an entire colony of giants. There's like this one giant dude that was the giantest. I can't remember what... I think he was called Orr, and he was like this big demon giant thing that was like a horrible menace. And he had a son, and the son was like super chill, and he was like part of Whitebeard's crew.
And he was like, look at my son!
Yeah, he was like part of Whitebeard's crew, and he was there trying to save Ace from the execution thing. And he wasn't as big as the original Orr, because again, the original Orr was like mythically large, like large even by giant standards. He was a giant to giants.
Okay, one thing still confuses me about the God of War giants, which is that not all giants are giants, but most giants are giants. And I was like, well then, what makes them small then?
Are you talking about the God of War game?
Yeah, like
I don't remember that.
Without spoilers, they established that like.
Oh yeah, giants. They established
like,
that Kratos' wife was a giant.
Yeah, like
Oh wait, was that the spoiler? Dude, that came out like 3 years ago.
Okay. Well, but I'm not gonna ruin like such but.
Yeah, that is my bad.
There's a big dead giant on like the map, and you get a sense for just like how massive the giants were. It's like, oh well, Frey was a giant. Whoa, well not every giant was really giant. That's just their name. But I'm like, yeah, but then you learn throughout the story that like 99% of the giants are like mountain-sized.
Yeah, my theory is that she had some kind of magic transformation spell to make her normal size. Because that's what because like you hear about half giants, and I'm always like, but how did this
that doesn't work.
enter this? I don't know.
If you want to know, I've been spending a lot of time with Brad, and he's really good at
it. Dude, that was actually a point that they bring up in the Fables
comic.
That
episode yet?
No.
It's a recent episode.
For Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
You gotta see
I'll watch it when you go home.
Let's watch it after this.
Yeah, let's watch it together.
Yeah.
We can watch it. We got
Jackie
time.
Boy can watch it. Hey, Jackie, say
Jackie
hi.
will come boy watch it with us. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Woo. The studio bigwigs don't want Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet. You understand?
No one's gonna forget this, dude.
How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love to Steel Samurai? What about the people who just got their trading card collections together?
I mean, what about all the kids who love Dragon Ball Z and want more? They made
Maybe
Super.
Penny's
is it good? I mean, it's
now
alright.
I feel bad because like, there's only two results here with Penny. Either Penny's like, oh, the series is ending, which means that like, I just got my whole collection together, and now like it's not part of a living culture, and then or she could be like, oh yeah, but I could also sell it and it's like, oh, the series is over, and now like, actually, I could make a bunch of money off of its doom.
Dude, I would do that.
Just the complete collection in a thing that would be worth $1 bazillion. I'll make $1 bazillion. I'll sell the collection, make $1 bazillion, and then I'll buy the studio.
Right?
Comes full circle.
And then she brings back the Steel Samurai.
Obviously. It's okay. I'm sure that the kids will be fine.
They'll be fine.
They'll
be fine.
Wait, there's a kid in the well? He wasn't well.
The kid in the well is not well.
They'll find a new hero to follow.
Yeah. Yeah, God. Grandma's hanging out with her cat.
Hello.
Hello, Grandma. Did you say that one?
No, that can't be true.
I can fly if I wanted to, like a bird in the sky.
I believe I can fly.
We'll all fly. Clearly,
Zero fall damage. just switches to Borderlands, but it's modded, so you look like
Buzz Lightyear.
Zero fall damage.
Dude, I feel like Buzz Lightyear would be like the perfect skin for Flack.
Why?
Because I don't know, but it just feels right, you know.
I feel like Buzz Lightyear in any game.
Zane would be Woody.
Context.
Zane would be Woody and like
Woody, but he's a space ranger.
Yeah. Yeah. The Space Cowboy would be the Space Ranger, and the Space Ranger would be the Space Ranger.
Thanks. The program just ends. It'll be heartbreaking for sure. Heartbreaking. Nick, say something.
Nick is just one of those silent protagonists. He's just like a Link. He's like, wah!
Wow. Alright, you jumped.
Yeah.
I see that.
That's jumping. Jumped. What you're doing is jumping.
Let's try that again, shall we?
The cake is a lie.
Right, when the
that'll be the first thing that
off, I'm gonna need you to look at the art. I'm doing my hardest to do that Michael, what's his name accent.
Wait, which one?
The guy who does the voice for Wheatley in Portal 2.
Yeah.
It's a very, it's British-ish.
That's jumping.
Little,
what you're doing
I think
there
it's
is
a
jumping.
little Irish.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that.
Dude, did you ever play the 2-player mode in the second game?
No, I have not.
I beat it with my other friend, with the same League of Legends friend. Shout out to her.
So,
I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. Wait, what am I?
How about the book, The Path to Glory? That's pretty legit.
Okay. Take that!
And this is...
A fan collected all of the... what
look,
voice am I doing right now?
Take a look. It's in a book. Opens up the book. Look at this photograph.
I'm wondering how deep you can go down that rabbit hole.
It's pictures of you. Pictures of me. Hanged up on the wall.
Is that a song? That's not a song I'm familiar with.
It was on this compilation I saw of songs that use that same 4-chord progression.
Right. A fan collected all of these photographs. They will not make you laugh. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be canceled just so some adults could save face.
James, put that gun down and start working on these frames.
What is that from?
Oh, it was that Aaron and I think it was Sonic 06. Or it was either Sonic 06 or Sonic Boom. It was one of the Sonic games that got rushed and got just very chaotic and confused.
Oh yeah, both of them.
And yeah,
both of them.
No, that's why I said it was one of those two because.
Yeah,
because of that, it was just like, man. It's just, oh no, it was definitely Sonic Boom because they were talking about how the game had exploration bits and RPG bits and like side quests, but it doesn't really work when you're playing a game that is a high-speed platformer. If it's it's high-speed platforming, stop, look at this thing. Okay, now start going again.
Yeah.
It doesn't mesh unless you've got it in different levels.
Right.
and because of that, it's just like, all right, we're doing an RPG. What is this? RPG? A shooter? An adventure game? A platformer? Chris, put that gun down and start working on these frames.
Oh wow.
Oh, sorry, that's you.
Stop stealing my lines.
What I think you're gonna say is what your next line is gonna be. Oh my gosh, that's Joseph Joestar.
Shout out to the JoJo fans out there.
You know, I've only seen a handful of JoJo episodes, and I gotta say, there's just something. There's something like hilarious about the meta of the show, where it's like, I have such tactical brilliance. Watch, we're in this tunnel, which means they'll want to close off our exit, and then they kick a wagon and it lands on the other side and crashes and seals off the exit. And it's like, ha, I was right. And I was like, well, yeah, but like, you didn't prevent the action from happening. It's like the opposite of Sharingan Eye, where it's like, yes, I see exactly what they're going to do. What are you going to do? I'll see what happens.
That's like somewhere between Sharingan and like Hindsight Lad from Marvel.
Hindsight's 2020.
Remember Hindsight Lad? He was a character.
Your line?
I'm trying to read it.
I will keep dithering until
you
read
would
it.
Stop distracting me, I would read the line. I would think you would want me to read the line. So I would think you would understand that better than anyone.
You can't handle the line.
You can't handle the line.
You're right.
Yeah, no, I'm right.
Okay. But what can I do?
Riot. Let's start a riot. Start a riot.
I don't know that song.
Yeah, that's a song. It's a song that exists. Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. That hurts my throat.
Okay.
Now, tell me about this accident. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago?
I'll tell you what I've heard. It was 5 years ago from today.
Was it about a bird? Was the bird the word?
You are twice as strong as someone who's half as strong as you. Apparently 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Hold on. Anyway, producer, Mrs. Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the... Oh.
Yeah.
And that's the dirt she had on Hammer.
Mr. Hammer.
Oh, I thought you were going to read that and just to...
Oh wait, was that my line?
That was your line.
Oh, I didn't even realize. Man, I'm not looking at the name boxes.
And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more than about this? Miss Old Big. She was here at the studios back then, you know.
Thanks. We'll try asking her. If she'll talk. Great! Back to Miss Old Bag.
Must bribe with donut.
Must bribe. Hey, Old Bag, tell me what happens or I swear to God the donuts get it.
Gonna eat the donut? Don't be wasting my donuts. You put that donut on the ground, that's littering. What? You still slinking around?
Yeah.
You like this place so much? Why don't you just take over?
Sure.
Shama doesn't look so good. Why is Maya so... You've only known her for like one scene. You were gone for most of this. Actually, no.
I mean, she's seen her a couple times.
Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do you think makes studio... Line. Who do you think made Global Studios what it is today?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Old Bag Farms remembers.
Old Bag Farms.
Hammer. It was all due to Hammer.
More Old Bag means more farms.
She's starting the froth of the mouth now. Maybe we should keep it a safe distance? Oh, I'm not too quiet on the mic. Keep adjusting the mic. I've got it so where I don't bump into it, but it's like close as possible, because last episode I was a little quiet at times.
Right. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Oh god! It's Demon Face again.
Who told?
Demon Face.
Who did you hear that from?
You sound like Bane trying to do a demon voice, but like The Dark Knight Rises.
I'm just inhaling.
Bane. What's that?
I'm inhaling.
Yeah. Oh. Huh?
Nichols.
Nichols?
Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols. That's the assistant we talked to.
Oh, Penn. You mean?
She's the pinnacle of Penn Nichols.
She's the pin that holds everything together.
She's at the tippy top, the pinnacle, the Penn Nichols.
Penny
Nichols.
Penny Nichols.
Oh wait, no, her name is Penny Nichols because it's pennies and nickels. It's got pennies and some nickels.
It's nickel and diamond us, Jim.
That's your line.
Right. Oh,
right, that's my line.
Oh, right, that's my line. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man with this thumb.
This kills the man. I already killed a man with his thumb.
And then from like,
and then the payoff near the end where you just see that chef walk up. He just shows his thumb, and then it just cuts to the guy being thrown out.
Yeah.
That was.
Ratatouille was a good movie.
That's the important thing. You gotta have payoffs to your setups like that.
I'm imagining he's like, he killed a man with this thumb, but Jack Hammer's dead, so he just has like his like cut off thumb with him with this thumb.
No. Stop. Man, I'm sorry. I gotta get more yes and. I gotta say yes, and the thumb had a ring.
And the ring was the ring that Deacon gave to Sarah. It all comes full circle!
I mean, have you tried keeping a wristwatch on a monkey for more than a year?
That was a really good line.
Okay, so you have gotten it.
Yes, I have gotten that far.
That's one of my favorite things where like you can just say it and like people who haven't played the game are like, that's really silly. And like people who played the game are like wristwatches. Looks really new.
Yeah.
Alright.
He killed a man, didn't he?
This kills the man. Whippersnappers. I should have a different word. It should be like young bloods.
Young bloods. Well,
Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that. And the recently departed, no less.
Well, yeah, to be fair, she does seem to be suffering from that young blood's disease.
Youngblood's disease. It's where you start with eyes, then you have eyes with no pupils, then you get like lines that imply that you have eyes.
Youngblood.
It's most common with Rob Liefeld characters.
Yeah,
hence Youngblood's disease.
Yeah, Youngblood, for those of you who don't know, is an Image comic book.
Episodes on Youngblood for more details.
Yeah, it's an Image comic book, and they're drawn by Rob Liefeld. And Rob Liefeld, for those of you who don't know, is you know, credit where credit is due. He gave us Deadpool. He gave us Cable.
You keep saying that, but like the most of Deadpool's like Deadpool-ness came after Liefeld left.
No, but like he created Deadpool.
Yeah.
He created Deadpool. He created
And
Cable. It wouldn't exist if he didn't. So you know, Rob Liefeld, love you for that. Thank you very much. That said, please stop drawing.
His art was not. You know, that's the wild thing. If you ever feel like your art isn't good enough, just remember Rob Liefeld still gets hired.
Was he the one that did that weird picture of Captain America where his chest was like a giant tumor?
Yeah, I believe it was. And it's... Have you seen edits where they Photoshop the actor of Captain America to look like that?
No, I haven't,
giant
but that
barrel
sounds amazing.
chest. Oh, it's so bizarre. I suppose you think this is fun? Sorry, I lost my accent for a moment.
No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers.
And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe such rubbish? But you have some kind of proof.
Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume?
I
have proof.
The sleeping.
Yeah,
the sleepy stuff.
I'm sorry,
it couldn't have been, what's his name? Because he was sleeping, and we know that he was poisoned.
I don't know.
Let's
Get to the evidence thing first. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. It was, Cody's camera.
No. What are you doing?
The picture. Oh,
Not the picture. The steak plate that we had tested.
Yeah.
I think it's that.
Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct?
Well, yes. So?
I don't like that weird smiley face. You look like you're up to something. You look like you're planning a premeditated murder of me.
I killed the man with a donut.
I killed a man with this donut. With this donut. This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate.
Ha! I bet Powers put it in there himself.
How would...
The lightweight like him must have trouble sleeping sometimes. I'm losing my accent with Oldbag.
You're fine.
I should go back to the granny voice.
Except I have proof that Mr. Hammer put the pills in. And the proof is the DNA, right? They tested
Jack Hammer's fingerprints, yep.
Yeah.
It's on the pill bottle. It all comes together, man.
This bottle contains sleeping pills. Mr. Hammer's fingerprints were found on the bottle.
I've been replacing the ellipses with either thinking noises or gasps. I see. Poor Hammer.
Oh no.
You did wrong, Hammer. Rest his soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired. Tired of holding it all in.
Miss Oldbag?
I really was full of gas. You're right. 5 years ago, it was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, Paparazzo took a photo of it. I think paparazzi singular is paparazzo.
Is it?
I think so.
Huh.
That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. He's sleeping with the pepperonis. That was the beginning.
Vasquez looks like her clothes.
She looks very different from Dead On.
Yeah, but like her outfit with like the hood and stuff reminds me of like some medieval action RPG game that you would see like NPCs
she's a princess
wearing.
of Persia.
A Princess Persia?
Well, no, I already did my pitch for her costume early on, which is that she's what is it? She's commissioning adventurers to steal artifacts for her or something.
Yeah, something like that.
That was the beginning again. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant to harm anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute, Oldbag. I hate my name. Here, take this. My parents' last name was Simmons, but they decided to call me Oldbag. That's cuz.
Just cuz.
My name is Mary Chungus Oldbag. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a weird thing, but is it true that like when you put your kid's name on a thing when they're born, like it doesn't have to have your last name? Like it could be any name?
I don't know.
I've just wondered if that's happened where it's like, ah, yes, our bloodline changes now.
Photograph.
Look at this photograph.
It is not making me
It
laugh.
will make you laugh.
It's making me very sad.
Oh!
In fact. Oh, Jesus! Well, wait a second. This is the
This is.
Oh.
You read my lines.
Now I can read
You
your
back off
mind.
this case, Simmons. You're getting too close. This is the picture.
Ah, shut up, phone.
Why do you have an alarm on streaming
It's to
nights?
remind my friend to take her meds because she forgets sometimes.
Why do you have your alarm set to during streaming nights?
Because
though?
it's 10 o'clock when she takes them. I'm gonna remind her when we're done with the stream.
Can't they set an alarm on their phone? I don't want to be callous
They
about
do,
it.
but then like
they
I mean I think they do. I don't know.
I feel like they should do that.
She forgets sometimes. She should. But sometimes she just forgets. I'm not even the only person that does it. Like I went into the Discord to remind her once, and someone in there was like, someone else does that. And I was like, yeah, well, she forgets sometimes.
Yeah. Well, on these days, maybe someone else can
yeah,
cover
maybe.
Because
yeah.
We'll find a balance point. So,
yeah, somewhere along the line. Is
this is
the
back when we were filming Samurai Tennis.
The Prince of Tennis Samurai. The Samurai of Tennis.
Daimyo of Tennis.
Daimyo of Tennis.
Shogun of Tennis.
Is this the is this the trailer in Studio 2?
Emma was supposed to fight with the bad guy on the top of the stairs there. He pushed the other actor and fell onto the flower box fence.
Oh
That's how it got bent.
Damn.
That's sharp. I would not use that on a set.
Yeah.
That also is why there's entire like legal teams who usually like insurance teams who like check the scenes before actors are in them and make sure that the actor isn't in too much danger of like being there. I mean, primarily it's just for like insurance purposes because they're the insurance folks. But it's the same principle where it's like, hey, I noticed that there's this like you're doing a fight scene and these are like actual like spiky things.
Right. But how did you get this?
It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it.
That's fair. I understand.
I was part of the family.
You were what?
You know, in the life, you gotta know. I used to paint houses, if you know what I mean.
And with that, I think we'll call it here.
So, thank you so much for joining us this lovely evening. I hope this evening's been lovely. I've been Taylor.
I've been Lujek.
I've been Taylor.
I've been Lujek. I've been Lujek. I'm Lujek.
And
and we're gonna go on Charlie Quinn.
The Captain LJ Bird Dog Peopleorian episode.
And with the Bingo Bungus.
Yeah, the Bungus and the Bingos.
The Bungus and the Bingo.
Have a lovely evening.
Take care.
Stay awesome.
Have a beautiful day.
Bye.
And so see you next time. Or did you say that at the beginning? Did we do the outro all out of order?
Yeah, we did I think we did a little out of order.
Well,
you haven't hit the button though,
that's
so
fine.
this will show up at the end of the episode. You gotta hit
fine.
that button.
We'll fix it in post.
No, we'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. Bye!